Estudio number 3 by Fernando Sor. It's a brilliant etude where you get to actually work on the hierarchy of melody versus accompaniment, right? So you're going to, mostly with your ring finger, be getting the first string. And then in a bar, you get the accompaniment, and you basically brush the strings. You're not going to put a lot of weight into the string because, let's just face it, when it comes to accompaniment, these notes are going to be second-class citizens to the melody, right? So you don't want to be rolling them because that's bringing attention to them, right? So just pluck them, or like I say, chuck them, right? So dig in with the ring finger, then you tuck in your ring finger, and 3 and 2 are coming in to grab the B and the D. And then you go back. Right, so in harmony terms, you're talking about tonic, dominant, right, so back to the dominant. And then you're going to line up 2, 3, and 4. And you observed in your lesson that he is bringing attention to the pinkie as playing the melodic material, right? So in the fingerings that Segovia gave us, he's actually making consistent that pinkie for the melody, right? And then you get yourself to second position for the D sharp, right? And then you extend the phrase, you get back to second position, get the D with 2, and at that point you extend your bar, back to second position, extend your bar, right? That's the first instance of your phrase. Then you actually repeat a little bit of a different ending. Of course, it's Sor, so he's going to do something different for us. So here you have an E sharp, which is basically nothing but an F, right? And remembering from the key signature, you have all Fs, all Cs, and all G sharps, right? Right, extend. Stretch out to get that D sharp. Right, this is tricky. You're holding the B here on the A bass and 1 on grabbing the G, right? So although these notes are second-class citizens, they need to ring through as much as possible. So you're going to have to stretch your pinky to grab that 4th fret second string. Right? Now, Segovia in his original, well, not the original, it's by Sor. Segovia makes you go all the way to the 7th fret to get that F sharp, which makes a lot of sense. Right? Now the suggestion that we have here in this version of the score, and he has you go down here, doesn't sound as pretty. You don't get that lush sound of the second strings. So I really advise to do that, but it's not the end of the world if you decide I've worked hard enough at that point. Collapse your bar. 4th and 3rd strings, open E, don't forget your G sharp. Now the second part of the piece is going to actually give us a little bit more of a run for our money, right? So we have G sharp, your dominant here, then you slide all the way up to the 7th fret with your pinky to get that B. And then on the D string you get your G sharp, and on the G string you get your D. Right? And then you jump right back to get that dominant chord, and then move out your pinky, right? And this is interesting. You have a C sharp right there on the B string, right? And then that C sharp, which was accompaniment before, you were basically barely brushing the thing, right? And then you actually play that C sharp as a melody note this time, right? So you're bringing your ring finger now over to the 2nd string. And then, keeping with the idea that this is a melodic material, right? Segovia has you line up 2, 3, and 4. good idea, right? You could stay with the bar, but then you're gonna have to move your index finger over, right? You could just say, but you have to be very careful, right? You don't want to make a lot of noise as you do this. Whereas, that's very easy to accommodate, right? And then again, dominant, all the way to the 7th, back, set up your bar, or 2, 3, 4. And then here you're going to travel again. So pinky on the 2nd string, and right on top of that 3rd finger, then move over the 4 and set up 2 and 3. Right, 2 and 3 giving the B and the A, right? Now, you could slide up the pinky here, but it's advisable to actually go to the open E. Right, so because of the setup, right? You could have done, right? And then you would have the A right below here. But you know, honestly, it's just so much work. Or you could just hit an E. Here's your C sharp and your A. And then you just land your pinky. Collapse the 1 to grab the C sharp. Then tuck in the pinky. Right? And then you move your index finger into a bar, but this time on the 3rd fret. Right? And then you could do the next part in so many ways. You could jump back to 1st position, or you could just move up to 5th position like Segovia suggests. Right? I really like going up to 5th position like Segovia suggests. So going back on this last line of the etude. Bar. Right? You are grabbing that E sharp, which is nothing but an F natural on the 6th fret. And you set up 1 and 3. Then you get your F sharp, right? The reason why this is an E sharp is so that you don't have to notate F natural against the key signature and then F sharp right over again, right? So it's easier to just call this an E sharp. And then you find yourself grabbing the A here. You change position right back to 4th. No, I skipped. And then you just jump back to 4. So I kind of got ahead of myself in the sight reading here. So right. Notice what happened. 3 had to come down to the 2nd string to grab that F sharp. And then notice 3, right? It's going to move over with 2. Right? And this time you're grabbing the D open. So you just move 3 and 2 in conjunction. Right? And then 4 sneaks in to grab the A. And remember, that's a C sharp. Then jump back all the way to 2nd position. Right? 1 on the D string to get the E, 1 on the G string to get the A. Right? That last business on the last line. Happy practicing.